Wildfire danger zones expanding across California as CAL FIRE releases the latest round of fire hazard maps with thousands of acres of land now considered at severe risk for fires.
Your reporter covering Sacramento County, Tori Apodaca, is live in Rancho Cordova getting answers on what these changes mean for fire crews and communities. Tori.
Marley Hunter, you can see right here on these CAL FIRE maps that were released today that most of Rancho Cordova, including this neighborhood we're standing in, are in the moderate zone that's indicated in the yellow. But in the distance, you can see those homes as well as Sunrise Boulevard. And just last summer, I was out on the other side of that road covering a fire. And it's why Sacramento Fire says that these maps don't come as a surprise. It's a sight and sound that's become all too common for Californians.
It is like risky. Fire is very risky everywhere.
CAL FIRE's new fire hazard maps show that the very high severity zone in Sacramento quadrupled from where it was over a decade ago.
Back in 2007, when required to map fire hazard severity zones, we only mapped the very high. And so now we're required to map the high and the moderate.
Jim McDougald with CAL FIRE says they also now have more precise local weather models that are based on wind speed.
This is the Sailor Bar area along the American River Parkway on the upper side towards Folsom. That's one of our threatened areas also.
The maps were created for local jurisdictions like Metro Fire to manage the changing terrain.
One of the challenges that we've had historically over the last 5-10 years is late rains.
It's why Battalion Chief Parker Wilborn says weed abatement is crucial. Late rains produce double growth, creating dense vegetation.
And allows that fire to spread very rapidly through those fuel beds and potentially threatening neighborhoods.
Is that going to affect our house insurance?
We spoke with several people who live in the moderate severity zone in Mather and Rancho Cordova. Nearby parts of Folsom, where we see building happening, are also in this yellow zone.
Honestly, I did not even know, but I'm not surprised because we live all around grass fields over in our areas.
Communities in the high and very high fire hazard zones will fall under new state regulations that require defensible space around homes and specific building codes for new buildings for things like roofs, vents, and siding. But if California has learned anything in the past decade, it's that no community is immune to fire threat.
We are very afraid of that. If it shouldn't happen in this area. Everybody has to be very careful.
So again, right now we're standing in a moderate severity zone, which actually isn't required to have mitigation efforts according to CAL FIRE, but all of this green grass that will soon dry out. Sacramento Fire says it's still doing weed abatement work here.